Good God, what a bloody mess. Someone was wounded here. It looks like another person dragged him off. Maybe there'll be some tracks. I'm on the right track.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
What happened at the crossroads?
What crossroads? What are you talking about?
Listen, there's corpses lying on the road out there, a ransacked wagon, and a trail that leads right here. Now, you seem to be honest and friendly folk, not marauding cutthroats. So I prefer to believe you don't have anything to do with it. But, if you don't start helping me, I might change my mind.
I don't know nothing, and I haven't seen nothing. If you want to know something about it, just ask Boyar. I don't want nothing to do with it.
Who is this Boyar?
Boyar cracks the whip around here. You'll recognize him by his red cap.
Thank you.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
What do you know about the wagon that's been ambushed at the crossroads?
I haven't a clue what you're talking about.
Really?
Yes. Is that a problem?
Do you have any idea whose wagon it was?
I don't know. And I don't care.
Well, I'll tell you. I'm sure you've heard of the gang that burned down Neuhof.
Possibly.
And poisoned the well in Merchoyed. They're the kind of men you don't want to get on the wrong side of.
I didn't get on the wrong side of them, though. Did I? The opposite. Actually, we helped them out. And I didn't even know who they were.
What happened?
Let's just get this straight. We didn't ambush anyone.
And what were you doing at the crossroads then?
We were just passing, and we saw the wagon. So we took the sacks.
Just the sacks? What about the trail of bloodstains leading to the camp?
I was just getting to that. We also found one wounded man. What am I saying, wounded? The fellow was hacked like a martyr in some holy picture. He begged us to hide him away.
So you have him here somewhere? Is he still alive?
The fellow has quite a will to live. I'll give him that.
Where is he?
We've locked him away in the shed. There.
I want to talk to him.
I don't know. He paid us. We're not to let anyone near him.
I don't mean to hurt him.
So be it. Here. Take the key.
Thanks.
Who are you?
Never mind that. I've come to help you.
Oh, thank God. I thought I'd breathe my last here. Lucky for me, my guardian angel comes bursting through the door.
I'm no angel, so you'll have to answer a few questions before you get my help.
Ah, well, I knew it wouldn't be that easy.
Who is it you work for? Who did the wagon belong to?
To Menhart. He's some kind of merchant who hired me for protection. But that's all I know.
And where's this Menhart disappeared off to?
No idea. I blacked out after the attack. Only came to my senses once I got here. I don't even know where here is.
Who ambushed that wagon?
A knight. He's been following us for a while.
And where did he go?
I don't know. I got a beating, and then I passed out.
Do you know what you were carrying in that wagon?
I never asked Menhart that.
Tell me more about the knight.
Where's the coin?
What? What coin?
I will not repeat the question.
I don't know about any coin.
Gah! Where are those sacks you took from the wagon?
Sacks! They're behind the shed.
That's him! That's got to be that knight!
Is that all? Did you take anything else?
Fuck! Stop! Stop right there!
Greetings. What do you need?
Master Fafar, I need to speak with you. I found out something about the counterfeit coin.
Did you really? Do tell.
Close to Rovna, I came across a wagon that was transporting the false coins. Unfortunately, I came too late. The carter and his men were dead.
Damn and blast. Do you know who did it?
Yes. A certain knight turned up there. Turned out he was also after the forgers.
Well, that is indeed unexpected. Tell me, what did he say?
His name is Ulrich. He looked like a knight, but he refused to show his master's colours.
Ulrich, you say? Could be anyone. Can you describe him?
An older man with a moustache. But for all his grey hairs, he seemed pretty tough to me.
Doesn't match anyone I've heard of. But then we don't even know if Ulrich is his real name.
I asked him who his liege was, but he refused to tell me.
We live in such strange times. In days past, knights would vie with each other to see who could extol their liege's name the loudest. And today, they take assumed names, hide their emblems, and sneak around the land like thieves.
I got the impression he was hiding his identity because his master's at odds with Sir Radzig.
That may well be. As a staunch supporter of the king, Sir Radzig has many enemies.
He gave me these documents to show you. He seemed to think they prove he was telling the truth. They're the records of the interrogations in Passau, and some other things he said you'd understand better than him.
Let me see. We, the aldermen of the city of Passau, interrogation held this day, put to pen by the quaestor. The place of origin is a monastery in the land of Bohemia. Which sadly confirms my suspicion that something underhand is going on in Sasso. Coin assay report. Copper core coated with amalgam. But this is interesting. Here's an outline description of how the forgeries are made. I'll have to study it more closely. We command Herr Ulrich to investigate and let no man stand in his way. This looks like the original safe conduct. It has the seal of the Passau alderman, but they certainly didn't pen this.
How do you know?
I recognise the hand. It's a Clement of Kaplitz, the high scribe of the Rosenbergs.
The Rosenbergs? Who's that?
A rich and powerful family in South Bohemia. Burgrave Henry III is a great rival of our King Wenceslas.
So what does all this mean?
Well, it certainly explains why your knight is so mysterious. Anyway, we should be careful. And we shall begin our investigation. The documents show they use silver amalgam for coating copper fakes. That's a lead we can follow.
What?
Silver amalgam. It's produced from quicksilver and silver.
Well, that doesn't sound like something just anyone can get hold of.
You're quite right. You will go to Sasso at once. Look around the forges in the city. Someone must be working copper for them. I, meanwhile, will take counsel with Sir Radzig and then follow after you.
Where shall we meet?
At the inn on Sasso Market Square.
So, what did Master Pfeiffer have to say?
I consulted him and we definitely have a starting point.
Tell me more.
Master Pfeiffer found out they need copper sheets for the core of the coins and quicksilver for the the other part.
I see. They have such materials at the monastery.
Exactly. That's why I'm interested in the local forges.
Yes, that is good. Yesterday, I heard people from the craftsman's yard by the monastery complaining. They said they could not sleep at night because the blacksmith works all the time till dawn.
I see. That's certainly worth asking about. Have you heard anything else?
You said they use quicksilver. There is a painter lodging here who is painting the church in Ujitz. I heard him complain also. He said that he ran to the monastery for quicksilver and it was all gone.
Well, that's something to follow up as well. Thanks.
God be with you, good sir.
I hear you've had some problems with the supply of quicksilver.
Problems? I should say so. For the third time this month they've told me they've none. There's no quicksilver to be had, they said.
And who exactly are you talking about? Who's holding back the goods on you?
The monastery overseer, or his assistant, more like.
So what did the overseer have to say to you?
Nothing. Apparently he doesn't deal in such trifles. Leaves it all to his assistant, the pompous git.
I'll have a beer.
Surely such valuable material can't just vanish. Where can it be?
I wish I knew. Every time I ask for the red pang, there's a different reason why they haven't got the quicksilver to mix it. Once they said the goods never arrived. And another time that the wagon carrying it was ambushed. Then it went astray somewhere.
And you think they're lying?
Jesus, what do I know? But it seems pretty strange to me. 3 times in a row the same thing goes missing. There's bad luck and then there's something else.
What do you need Quicksilver for?
I don't. They do. To mix up the red pigment for me. I'm painting the church in Ujits. Can you imagine how stupid those biblical scenes look without red?
Not really.
Then be glad you can. My eyes hurt just to imagine it.
That's all I need to know for now. I'm looking for some Quicksilver. Would you have any on hand?
Talk to my assistant. He deals with such trivial matters.
Fine, thank you.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Do you have any Quicksilver in stock?
Who's asking?
Nobody, I'm just asking.
Then I don't have any.
That sounds almost as if you don't want to sell it to me.
It's not that I don't want to. It's that I can't.
Bollocks. Tell me this instant what you've done with the goods.
Nothing! And I'd advise you to calm down. We're on hallowed ground.
You're a fine one to speak of hallowed ground, a lying thief in monastic robes. What next? A whore dressed as a nun?
This is blasphemy!
I'll give you blasphemy. I'm sure you know what our Lord did to the money changers in the temple.
What do you mean? You're not going to hurt me, are you?
Tell me what's going on here and I won't have a reason to.
Jesus. But I didn't know anything about any counterfeiting.
For your sake, I hope that's true. Now tell me what's been going on.
I swear, I wouldn't normally do anything like that.
Get to the point.
They came for me at noon, directly to the office. The overseer was somewhere on his rounds. Some night, it was, without a crest, armed. He called himself Sir Jezek, and he had a lackey with him called Rapota, a scruffy fellow with a yellow cape. Always whistling he was. They told me they wanted all the Quicksilver we order for the monastery. Of course, I told him that wouldn't be possible.
And then what? Did they threaten you?
Not at first. They tried to bribe me, and when I refused, they started threatening.
How did you hand it over to them?
I take it up the hill behind the monastery here. There's a big tree there with a small chapel underneath. Sometimes Rapota is there waiting for me. If not, I leave it there.
What did they threaten you with?
They said they know people in the monastery, that they'd have me thrown out and beaten for stealing.
And you had been stealing? I mean, before then?
You know how it is. I work my fingers to the bone and they pay me a pittance.
So they knew about you?
Yes, they knew my name, everything.
Very well. Thank you.
Henry!
I'm glad to see you.
Matthew! Fritz! You're alive! Of course we're alive.
You can't get rid of us that easily.
I'm almost surprised how happy I am to see the pair of you are all right.
We are now, but we barely made it.
Yeah, it was hard. Fritz ran like a little girl.
Really?
Bollocks! Bloody joker.
Tell us what happened to you.
They gave me a pretty good thrashing as well. It was only in Rattay that I got back in my right mind.
You're not doing too well either, are you?
Right now, I'm a squire for Sir Radzig.
I see you've worked your way up.
And how are you two getting by?
It's shit.
You said it. We're still chopped off to bits. Owe the monastery a bundle. And there's no work here.
Not for anyone with more than half a brain, anyway.
No one's interested in two good carpenters in Sasau.
No one.
And we looked everywhere.
Hey, you wouldn't happen to know of anything?
It will really help us out right now.
Well, I can ask around, but I'm not promising anything.
Thanks, Henry.
We'll pay off the debt. Don't you worry.
And where would they hire you to?
Well, we were carpenters in the mines, so wherever they work with wood, I suppose. Forget about construction. After Skalitz, no one will be building for a long time. Just here in Sassau, and they don't want us here. The best chance we have is to work at a mill. People always have to eat. Ideally, we're looking for a job that pays a lot and doesn't require much work.
What other neighbours of ours made it?
Your hunker's in the monastery. That girl really helped us out. That's about all we know. When we ran for it, we upped Teresa, but who knows where she is now? We got separated.
I owe my life to Teresa. She hauled me unconscious to the mill in Ratai and nursed me back to health.
I'm glad she survived. Since you know her so well, why not try asking her if she knows about any work?
Greetings. What do you need?
You look different, Master.
So as to fit in. I don't want it known that I'm in town.
Why?
I don't want to alarm our prey. Gossip spreads quickly, and if those scoundrels loam onto them, they'll flee.
That does make sense.
So what have you found out so far?
I found out where they get their quicksilver from. You were right, it was the monastery.
It was the only logical explanation.
It changed hands on the hill behind the monastery.
Have you been there to have a look around?
Not yet.
Maybe it would be worth the time.
I'll go and see.
And have you found out who's behind it?
Someone called Rapata.
Not much, but it's a start. At least it's not a common name. Listen, Henry, I had another thought on the way here. Those counterfeiters have to have a punch die to make the fake coins.
Yes, of course.
That's sophisticated work. And there's a man I know who works at the monastery yard, Master Engraver Jerome of Silesia.
You don't suppose that he's...
No, not that, God forbid. I know him well. He'd never do anything like that. But he runs an engraving workshop, so he might have heard something.
Very well, I'll ask him.
But ask with tact. I don't want him getting offended. And I prefer you not to mention me at all.
I'll try to think of something. That's all. How goes the work, Master?
Getting there, getting there. You need something, my boy?
What are you doing here, anyway?
You're in an engraver's shop, my boy. We're engraving, of course.
Yeah, but engraving what? And what's it used for?
Oh, we engrave wood and stone as well as metal. Here in the monastery, it's mostly about decoration.
You've got quite a large workshop, Master. You don't do all the work alone, surely?
I'm usually here with my apprentice, Florian. Of course, by simple observation, you'll note that this is not currently the case, and I'm here alone, which means that either I'm a liar or something out of the ordinary has occurred.
I see. I think. So what's happened to Florian?
He shares the fate of the pharaohs for today. The fifth scourge of Egypt did smite him, the plague, or so his message advised me.
Jesus Christ, the plague?
Do remain calm. I'm quite certain the plague from which Florian is suffering wasn't a judgment from on high, or if it was a judgment on excessive drinking. I'm told such an ailment can be of truly biblical proportions.
Does Florian have any enemies?
A man such as he certainly owes money at every turn, and the parents of local girls are undoubtedly displeased with his attempts to propagate. However, most recently it was that fury from the baths who accosted him in quite a spectacular rage.
What's he...
I'm afraid...
Something like that.
May.
I have a message. I hear you're at odds with apprentice Florian.
At odds? I'll give you at odds. It's that sod's fault they took my Este. Poor girl. I shudder to think what's become of her.
What exactly happened?
This man came in wanting a bath, and Este with it. She doesn't normally offer that kind of service, but I didn't see the harm, so I sent her in to him. And suddenly I hear screams. So I run out, and I see the bastard pulling her out of the tent and shoving her into a boat.
I'm sorry they took her, but what exactly has it got to do with Florian?
They shouted at me to tell Florian that when he wises up, he'll get the girl back.
I assume that Florian knows this, Esther.
You know village girls. They don't get much of a choice. Every other knave has a turnip for a brain, and if they don't, they're relatives. And then some young dandy turns up who writes her little poems. What's the poor girl to do? And this is how it ends. She should have stuck with the turnip heads.
Where can I find this Florian? I'd like to ask him a few questions.
He works in the engraver's workshop at the monastery craftsman's yard. And if he's not there, he'll be holed up like the rat he is in the cellar he rents from the baker. He's afraid of me, for sure.
Good day to you.
You look quite sprightly for an invalid.
What? Who the hell are you?
My name's Henry, and I'm making inquiries for Sir Radzig Kobyla.
And what do you want from me?
Straight to the point then? All right. I've been investigating counterfeit money, and the trail led me straight to you. Does the name Rapiter mean anything to you?
I don't know. Maybe?
Don't bother. I know you know him. You make the punch dice for the counterfeiters. How do you hand them over? Do you know where their workshop is?
I can't say anything. I'll deny everything and you've got nothing on me. No evidence, just accusations.
You just incriminated yourself.
One man's word against another. Like I said, I'll deny everything.
And do you really think that's going to help you? Your word means nothing. You've got the tools, the knowledge and the workshop. The only thing missing is a motive, but I'm guessing it's money.
I don't give a fuck about money.
So what then?
Those bastards kidnapped Esther. If I don't cooperate, they'll kill her.
I'm sorry about that.
Me too. Listen, I'll tell you everything, I promise. But only if I know that Esther's safe.
What, so I'm to go searching for her in the woods?
I know where they're keeping her, but nobody will help me. And what can puny little me do faced with those strapping great villains?
Look, Florian, I'm sorry for what you're going through, honestly. But I'm not the only one who's after these people. As soon as they get wind of something, they'll be out of here and Esther will be gone with them.
If Rapiter finds I've told you anything, they'll kill her.
Not if I catch Rapiter first. He's here in town, isn't he?
Yes, he is. They found me in the tavern one evening, caught me when I went to the ship pile. They started to badger me about working for them.
They?
Yes, Rapiter. And a knight they called Sir Jezek.
And then what?
They explained what they wanted from me and I told them to sod off.
I'm guessing that didn't go down too well.
It wasn't all that bad. They just threw me on the dung heap and left. I thought it was just a drunkard's joke. But then they took Esther.
Where will I find Rapiter?
He's usually wherever I am.
What does that mean?
He watches me. Everywhere I go. And when I'm at home, he sits on the bench in the square, watching my house.
So he's there now?
Hard to say. Sometimes I see him in the tavern on the green, buying supplies.
All right. At least I know where to start. And you go to work tomorrow, you hear?
Why?
Because we have to lure him out. And besides, your master will surely be glad to see you.
I have my doubts.
I suppose I'd better go. I'd hate the bastard to get away.
Go. I hope you get revenge.
Are you Rapiter by any chance?
Pardon me? Do we know each other?
No, but I'm hoping to change that.
Well, I don't have much time right now. I'd best be off.
It'll only take a moment.
All right then. What do you want?
I know that you spy on Florian. I know you were involved in the kidnapping of the bathmaid, and I know why you're doing it all.
It seems there's no point making excuses.
None. Now tell me where their workshop is.
Of course. That will be the best solution.
So?
Let's leave it for another time. No, I give up.
So, are you ready to talk?
I will. Just don't hurt me, please. What do you want from me?
Tell me where the workshop is. Don't worry. Your master won't be punishing you for betraying him. You're both going to have too many other problems.
It's in the Skullet's mines.
That doesn't narrow it down very much.
On the eastern side of Skullet's Hill, there's an abandoned mine gallery. Well, it used to be abandoned. Now there's a small camp in front of it, and the workshop is inside.
Who is your lord?
Sir Yezhek of Ronov. That's what he calls himself, although Ronov Castle's long gone.
What happened to it?
Ronov used to belong to Vincent, Count Lichtenberg. After his death, it fell to Margrave Jobst, and he had it pulled down. He knew full well that Vincent's vassals would resist him.
Why? Everyone knows that when a lord dies without issue, the king can confer his estate on whoever he pleases.
But Vincent had descendants. Ronov only fell to the Margrave because he declared them all illegitimate. All because Vincent had refused to fight for him against Sir Prokop. Sir Yezhek led a revolt of the vassals, but Jobst rounded them all up. Only Sir Yezhek got away. Since then, he's become the scourge of the domain.
Who are you, anyway?
They call me Rapota. I used to be the executioner's henchman in Brno.
And how did you come to be serving Sir Yezhek?
I helped him escape from prison. If I was going to serve anyone, better Sir Yezhek than the executioner.
So you saw being a brigand's henchman as a step up in the world?
I thought if things changed and he stopped marauding, he might get Ronov back and take me into his service.
Well, after this little escapade, you can forget about that. You'll be lucky if you don't end up swinging on the gallows.
It's all the same anyway now. I've betrayed him.
So who's Sir Yezhek working for? Don't tell me he just took it into his head one day to start forging coins.
That's not for me to know. Sir Yezhek was on speaking terms with various lordships.
Such as?
We were often guests at the monastery, but I slept in the hayloft, so I heard nothing.
And apart from that?
In the camp, you'd occasionally see a Hungarian nobleman, but I don't know what he was doing there, or who he is.
I think I've heard enough.
Can I ask you something?
Yes?
I don't want to hang. It's a horrible death. I'd prefer you just kill me here and now.
Ah, you're not worth tainting my sword with your blood. Now get lost before I change my mind. How's it looking, Melikar?
I'm glad to see you, Henry. I'd like to thank you again. Everyone is cured. It's nothing short of a miracle.
Oh, that's a relief. You've suffered enough. We've all suffered enough.
God's truth. You know, the folk here are truly grateful. They'd have you and Nicodemus canonized if they could. They brought me gifts for the two of you. I wasn't keen on the idea at first. We're not left with much since the livestock died. But since you're here...
That's kind of them. Give them my thanks.
Sure. They'll be glad you stopped by.
Who's there?
What are you doing? Are you right, are you? Look at all you got.
What do you want here? I don't know you.
I'm here at the command of the royal hetman, Sir Radzik Kabila.
Radzik Kabila, the king's hetman. I see.
I'm here to place you under arrest.
I gathered as much. And you came alone. Ha! Very daring of you, I must say.
I got to where I am without anyone else. Doesn't seem like I need any help.
You look capable. I could use a lad like you.
It's an interesting offer, but I'll turn it down if you don't mind.
By the way, who betrayed me?
That hardly matters, does it?
Do you think I won't get a chance to settle up with them? But I hope you don't imagine I'm just going to follow meekly after you like a lamb to the slaughter.
And where would you want to go?
Anywhere. Anywhere else is preferable to Kobila's dungeon.
Really? You can't go to Moravia. The Margrave himself is after you there. And in Bohemia, the kings may change, but the coin remains, my friend.
What do you mean?
Whoever gets to be king, they can't afford to have someone forging money.
Do you think I'm doing this on my own?
No, but when the kingdom's back in order, and it'll be time to shut this little operation down, they'll be only too happy to let you take the blame. Counterfeiting money gets no clemency.
It doesn't matter. Kobila will string me up from the highest tree in any case.
Maybe, but you're very shrewd and very persuasive. And you might know a few things that are worth more than your life. It's up to you. Either you give yourself up and try to make a deal with Sir Radzig, or you'll be on the run for the rest of your life.
A deal with Sir Radzig? It's true they say he's a canny man.
If you cooperate, you stand a chance.
Oh, very well then. May as well climb straight into the maw of the beast.
So let's go. Master Fafar will be itching to ask you a few questions.
Good work, Henry.
Thank you, Master Fafar. It wasn't easy, I can tell you.
I'll take some men and have a good look around there.
And what should I do?
You should get some rest and go to Rate. In the meantime, Sir Radzig will have this wretch questioned. Maybe he'll get something useful out of him.
All right. I'll see you in Ratai then.
There's the man. Good work, Henry.
Thank you, sir.
I tell you to take a well-earned rest, but unfortunately I need one more thing from you.
Whatever you command.
Jezek refuses to talk to us. The stubborn bastard's asking to see you.
Me?
Indeed. Normally I'd send for Captain Bernard to beat it out of him, but then I told myself that if he's so keen to speak to you...
I'll try to get something out of him. Where is he?
He's locked up in the tower. Bernard will give you the key.
Very well, sir.
Good day to you.
I need the key to Jezek's cell.
So Sir Radzig let him have his way in the end. He should have let me beat some answers out of him.
Don't take it that way. He probably wants to talk to me because he reckons he can hoodwink me. But that's where he's wrong.
Just try not to mess it up. Here's that key.
Thanks.
Well, finally, I've had quite a wait.
Why do you want to talk to me, of all people?
Radzig will keep me alive only as long as it takes to get everything I know out of me. You, on the other hand, gave me certain assurances. So I want to be sure that the secrets my life depends on end up in good hands.
So come on, out with it. Tell me everything you know and then we'll see.
Very well, ask me anything you want. I won't be obstructive.
What I want to know most of all is who's behind it. Who are you making those forgeries for?
Do you think I couldn't have handled it all myself?
I'm not trying to insult you. It's just not a job one man could do alone.
All right, the way it began was I was short of coin, as usual. So I let those crimps in Sasau recruit me.
Recruit you into what?
I didn't inquire too much. In this business, you don't ask too many questions. But when they found out I wasn't just anybody, they put me in charge of the counterfeiting. A foreigner by the name of Eric gave me instructions. But for sure, he isn't the chief. And there's someone highly placed at the monastery who's mixed up in it too. But I don't know who.
How did you come to hear of all this business?
I met some old friends in Colleen a few months ago. And they said they were heading for Sasau, that armed men were being recruited. And they'll hire anyone.
And then what?
Rapota and I had been living off stale crusts for a month, so I wasn't going to turn down the chance of work, honest or otherwise. We rode to Sasau and met with the recruiters. It didn't take long to realize I was a nobleman fallen on hard times, not some common peasant.
Can you get to the point?
Well, they introduced me to this Eric, and he told me what was needed. They set up the workshop, got the men, the supplies, everything.
This Eric, you reckon he's not the one in charge?
He puts on airs, but he's just a naive young pup. And he's always going on about his lord, though he never mentioned him by name.
Where can I find this Eric? You must have had some meeting place.
He used to come to the workshop unannounced, and after what's happened, I doubt he'll be showing his face there again.
This highly placed person at the monastery, what can you tell me about him?
I've no idea who he is, only that he's no small fry. After all, he handles the exchange of the forgeries in Passau.
I see. Is there anything else at all you can tell me about him?
No, he was supposed to supply me with materials too, but he backed out. Eric said he probably got cold feet.
How did you come to hear of all this business?
I met some old friends in Colleen.
Old friends? Who were they?
Just a couple of brigands. We used to ambush the Margrave's messengers in Moravia together.
Nice friends you keep.
I was in dispute with the Margrave. A man in my position finds himself mixed up with all sorts.
Crimps? You're telling me this Eric is recruiting armed men in Sasau?
Well, it seems so. I was giving the recruiters some of the coins to do it. The fake ones, of course.
Where can I find the recruiting gang?
That's tricky. It was my friends who led me to them. We met with them in the woods next to Sasau. It's about who you know, as always.
You said you gave them money. Where was that?
They'd ride to the mine gallery to see me. I don't suppose you'd find them there now.
If you say so. That'll do me for the moment.
Will you put in a word for me with Sir Edzik? I'll swear allegiance to him if he'll have me. I'm sick of being a renegade.
I can try, but I can't promise you anything.
So what have you learned?
All sorts of things. There's some foreigner called Eric behind the counterfeiting ring, and someone highly placed at the monastery.
The monastery? Really?
That's what Jezek claimed.
So it's worse than I thought. If this is true, we'll have to proceed with the utmost caution.
Why? Can't we just go to the monastery to investigate?
No. If the church is truly involved, I have no authority.
So what will you do?
I'll have to think about it. It won't be an easy nut to crack. I'll have to consult with Hanush. And what of this Eric? Who is he?
I don't know, but he's recruiting armed men in Sasau and forming an army.
Damn! So it looks like Pribyslavitz wasn't the end of it.
It most certainly wasn't, sir. And what's more, Sir Jezek is convinced this Eric is only a go-between, and there's someone bigger behind him.
You should return to Sasau and take a closer look at those recruiters. If they're going to attack, we must find out sooner than last time.
It might not be as straightforward as that. Sir Jezek didn't know them and has no idea how to find them.
You'll have to manage somehow, my lad. Don't tell me there's an armed force amassing here and nobody knows anything. Go to Sasau and try to find them.
I'm not sure where to start, sir.
Then ask around the alehouses and inns, or at the Rathaus. Someone must have heard something. These things can't be entirely kept in the dark.
Whatever you do, be careful, Henry. And best not mention my name. It would attract unwelcome attention. What we want is for the crimps to take you for just another village lad they can lure into their gang.
All right, sir. I'll try to blend in as best I can.
I know I'm asking a lot of you, but I know of no one else who could help as much as you can now.
Sir, there's one more thing. Sir Jezek went with me without resistance, because I promised him he could come to an agreement with you.
My boy, my boy. You make promises in my name? That could turn out very badly for both of us. But, if it can prevent bloodshed, why the hell not? We may well come to some arrangement after all, but I can't say yet what will become of him. You'd better run along.
Good day to you.
I've got a few questions for you, bailiff, if you don't mind. Have you been having some trouble around here?
And what business is it of yours? Did someone complain? Who sent you here?
No one complained, though I'd be interested to know why you think they might. It was Lord Radzig who sent me. He'd heard word that some unsavoury characters are holed up round here.
Begging your pardon, but what the devil does Sir Radzig care about it? And I keep hearing the same from Sir Sebastian. And he's got no dog in this fight either.
You have an inn, and the horse trails cross here. There must be many travellers come seeking work, and not all of them honest men.
Aye, it's true. Bedlam has broken out once or twice, and restoring order was no easy matter.
Has there been anything like that lately?
No. It's been quiet here lately. But now that I think about it, I don't recall coming across anyone here like that.
Nobody looking for soldiering work, maybe as a merchant's guard?
There's always one or two like that. But if they don't get the job, they move on.
Have you heard any talk of strangers in the town, maybe people acting oddly?
Nothing worth mentioning. Sure, there's been some talk about the miller. Folks saying they've been seeing him doing this or that, or people visiting him at night, but he's never done anything. He's a decent enough man for a miller.
I'll try asking him if he's heard anything.
He lives on the other side of the river, by the bogs. But don't go getting your hopes up. He might not be able to help.
Sir Sebastian? Who's that?
Sebastian Baron von Berg. He's here under monastery law to protect us against all this unrest in the land.
Why should he care about the city? That's not his jurisdiction, is it?
Quite true. I'm in charge of this city, but he keeps telling me I've got cutthroats hiding around here, and I should be more vigilant. The goal of the man.
I heard some recruiters are meeting in Sasau. Seemed likely they get up to mischief and people might complain.
Do you think that people here complain and I don't do my job? Nothing of the sort. Old Lederman's the only one that comes complaining, but I pay no heed to him.
And what does this Lederman complain about?
Lederman is our local tanner. Lives by the quarry, which is where, well, some youngsters go there to wrestle.
They go there to fight and that doesn't bother you?
Why would it bother me? Much better to brawl there than in the tavern. At least in the quarry they can't damage anything but each other. And my catchballs go by there from time to time to keep an eye on things.
Thank you, bailiff.
God be with you, good sir.
Have you noticed anything suspicious lately?
And what's your idea of suspicious?
Have you heard of anyone looking to hire some rough men?
Mercenaries, you mean?
Yes.
There were some fellows conspiring here in the corner twice a week, and others coming and going. They didn't look entirely respectable, but they never made any trouble.
Where do you think they might be meeting now?
How should I know? I'm an honest innkeeper, not a man-at-arms. They could be meeting at another inn. They could be meeting in the woods by the light of the moon, for all I know.
Is there any way I'll recognise them?
Unquenchable thirst. They drank like fish. They were rough-looking too, big-bearded and scruffy. Aside from that, they mostly kept to themselves.
That's not much help. What did they do while they were waiting for someone?
They drank. And they played dice. I do remember there were always dice on the table.
So they were fond of dice, were they? And where would you find a game around here?
Anywhere there's dice and usually drink. That's all you need for a game. Although it dawns on me now, I never saw Simon with those men, oddly enough. He's got a nose for drunken dice players with a coin to lose.
Simon who?
Why, the young miller. He runs Capsick Mill. Neighbours are always slandering him for trafficking, but who knows? Maybe he just has a knack for business.
Thank you for the help.
Not at all. But why off so soon? Sit down for a tankard or a bite to eat.
Good day to you.
I'm looking for some people you might know something about.
If they come here to drink, maybe. But I won't aid you in any mischief.
I've heard some rough men come here looking to recruit. Have they ever stopped in to eat or drink, or to arrange something?
There were some brawlers that used to fight behind the tavern, but they raised such a commotion. I went and complained, and the town watch drove them off somewhere.
I wasn't thinking about that lot. I'm looking for recruiters that hire mercenaries and other cutthroats.
Don't know about that. Every once in a while, a merchant will hire some help or an escort, but nothing more. Nobody comes here regular. I'd notice if they did.
Do you happen to know where the brawlers you complained about moved on to?
I've not got the slightest inkling. I'm just glad all the shouting stopped. It scared the horses in the stables.
You haven't heard talk of any scoundrels in town?
Well, I have heard some things, but I can't say if they're true or not. There's some that talk just to hear the sound of their own voices.
And who's the most frequent topic of that kind of gossip?
Miller Simon. They say he's rich with coin, and it's not from the mill. But that's nonsense. Folk just don't know how much a mill can earn.
Anyone else?
Aye, there's talk of the knacker giving people the evil eye, or them that's not in bailiff's good graces. But I don't suppose that's what you want to know.
Thank you, innkeeper.
Not at all. Would you like something?
Good health to you.
Listen, have you heard about anyone looking to recruit men around here, or planning some kind of mischief?
No.
Come on. I know how it is with millers. I've been friends with a few and they hear all the gossip.
So go ask them.
I doubt their ears reach all the way here.
Then it seems you're out of luck.
Surely we can come to some arrangement.
I don't much care for strangers.
So, what do I have to do to get in your good graces, Master Miller?
Well, if I heard from those Miller friends of yours that you can be relied upon, and you're not a complete dolt.
Good health to you.
Are you the local knacker?
I'm the local grave digger. But if there aren't any burials to take care of, I'll turn me hand to knackering.
Well, then you might know a lot of things that others don't.
I'm a decent man. Not always honest, but decent.
Anything fishy going on in these parts?
There certainly is. Candles are being stolen from the church. As brazen as that. What sort of people do that?
Ah, but have you heard of anyone around here hiring adventurers and bandits?
How would I know that? Most people avoid talking to me. I don't even go to the tavern much these days.
And what's been happening in Sasau lately?
Nothing interesting. Except maybe that bitch being slaughtered.
What? Who was she, a villager? I wouldn't call that nothing interesting.
No! I mean a dog bitch. It was a while back, but they called me to clear it up.
What happened?
The dog looked like she'd been hacked to bits. They were scared it was some demon, but as far as I could see, someone took a sword or an axe to her.
Why on earth would anyone do that?
What do I know? Maybe he was snooping around where he shouldn't, and the bitch went for him. I hear there was some dog-bitten fellow being cared for at the monastery. Only they kept him there on account of a broken leg. Maybe that's the same one.
Thank you. I'll be going now.
Very well. Feel free to stop by any time. People shy away from me, except when there's a death, or the cesspit's full.
My respects to you.
Tanner, I've heard all's not well with you.
It's better now. I must have eaten something bad.
No, I mean you've complained about some ruffians raising hell behind your house.
Aye, true enough. That lot's been a thorn in my side. And when I went to tell them to take it elsewhere, they nearly beat me to a pulp.
If you want, I'll take care of them.
Well, you look like you could move mountains, but there are several of them and just one of you.
Perhaps we'll be able to settle things peacefully.
Maybe. They might think twice before kicking your arse.
Perhaps I can reason with them. It doesn't have to come to blows.
Well, break a leg, lad. Or better yet, don't. But if you manage to pull it off, you'll get your reward. Don't worry.
Good day to you. What do you need?
I heard that someone's looking for men willing to do anything. Do you know anything about that?
Willing to do anything? Meaning what? Something filthy like helping the knacker? I wouldn't know. Go and ask someone else.
That's not what I meant, but alright. What happened with the tanner?
Nothing out of the ordinary. He came to test his mettle like everyone, but he couldn't even get past young Weed. Then he started whining about getting his money back because we tricked him, so we threw him out. He came back a few times after that complaining about all the shouting, and ordered us to bugger off elsewhere.
But you didn't?
No. And when he got really annoying, he got a punch in the mouth, and he hasn't been back since. Doesn't dare to. But it didn't shut that big mouth of his.
I'm looking for work, and I've heard someone around here wants fearless men. Do you know anything about it?
I've heard they might be looking for a new knacker. So if you're not afraid of carcasses and the occasional pile of shite.
Thanks, but no thanks. Word has it someone's hiring mercenaries and other fighters.
Well, you've heard more than I.
If I wanted to join in, what would I have to do?
It's pretty simple. First you have to beat Weed. He's that not too dangerous looking fella there. But some nights, he gets a good rest and he's got God on his side. Then you can try one of those three. Doesn't matter which. And if you whip all three, you can test your mettle against me. Fair enough.
So the last match is with you?
That's right. They say a bout with me is no joke. Just bad humours.
My respects to you.
I've heard that someone's looking for men willing to do anything. Do you know anything about it?
If I knew you better, I might tell you. But as things stand...
Good day to you. What do you need?
I heard someone was looking for men willing to do anything. Do you know anything about it?
Maybe. I work in the quarry, and they're always looking for extra hands to replace them that's got something broken.
That's not what I meant, but thanks.
God be with you.
I heard that someone was looking for men willing to do anything. Do you know anything about that?
No, but I'm always the last to hear of anything like that. I'll ask Punch. He'd know.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's fight.
That wasn't bad. But let's see how you do with money. Don't burn down. Show what you're made of. Shit.
Hey.
Let's fight.
You look pretty good. But I'm betting it was just luck.
We'll see.
What's the matter? Lost your balls? Ow!
Goddamn!
Let's fight.
That wasn't bad, but now we'll take it up a notch. Ah! Come on then.
I want to fight you.
You put on quite a show. Can't say I expected it. Yeah. Had enough of life, have ya? I'm over here. Kurwa, fick! Cut! You horseman!
Look here, lads. I hope I won't be seeing you around here again. Go and find some other place for your games.
All right. We'll go. But if you want to fight again, you're always welcome. I bet you'll come off worse next time.
That was pretty good. I didn't think you had it in you.
You were really good. I've got to hand it to you. Most lads don't make it past me. So listen, I want to tell you something.
What's that?
There are people here looking for really tough men, and I'd say you fit the bill. So when you walk through town this evening, if there's a light in the church, go in and wait a while. If they like the looks of you, they might give you some work.
Thanks. I'll think about it.